Hello, welcome to another World of Tanks replay with your host Bjorn. Today, what I have for you is the Object 257 in an all Tier 9 match. This was taken the day that patch 9.22 was released. This tank replaced the T10 in the IS-3 line. I'm going to start this off with a replay, and once the replay is over, I'm going to go into a bit of a rant. I am platooned with Andreas Jaeger on the other side of the map. He's in his T-54. I'm in my brand new Object 257. This is the first game I played this day. This is also the first game I've played in like 3 weeks. So I kind of play like shit for my normal. But the part of the rant will not be PG-13. It's gonna be salty. Let's begin, shall we? So here I'm just taking a moment while we're waiting, just to give you a look of the whole vehicle. It's a pretty snazzy looking vehicle. Things I noticed, and I'll just take control of the camera. Instead of the normal torsion bar suspension, it looks like bogies, and it actually sits pretty high, but it's got a nice shape to the underbelly. We're using a shape like that now on the MRAB for mine protection. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push into the town. This is the Siegfried Line map. As I said, it's all tier 10. And this was the only match this day I played in the Object 257. You actually couldn't swing a cat this day without hitting an Object 257. I even tried to play some tier 8s, and I just kept getting put up against Object 257s, and I just threw my hands up and gave up. So I tried taking a shot there to track them. It didn't work. Good old Soviet tracks, they eat everything. I'm not a huge fan of the T10. It's E75. Nice shot on the side of the turret. And I'm just going to side scrape the corner here. I get shot by Conway. I'm not sure where from. I'm not even sure where he hit me, to be exact. This is actually doing research on the Object 257. This is like one of like, I want to say there was 8 prototypes that actually leads to the IS-7. 3 of them now are in game. One of them is the Object 257. Another one is the Object 252, which is also known as Defender. T-34. Nice hit on the side, and he missed. Oh shoot, that wasn't a T-3. Why can't it be such shit sometimes? That's a T-30. Track him. And oh, look. A T-30 tracked me. Yeah, we'll get more on that in a little bit. So, side shot, and I didn't pen. Oh, apparently I tracked him again. Okay. Wait for the ass. Set him on fire. Excuse me. And then Andreas Reyes tried to sneak in there and get a kill shot. Another Object 257. But tried to further lower Glacius and missed. Go figure. But so now there's the Object 257, which is an IS-7 prototype. There's Object 252, or also known as Defender, which is an IS-7 prototype. And there's also Object 260, which is the Tier 10 reward tank. Got the kill shot on the GW Tiger. But my teammate just got killed by a Conway. Oh, took a penetrating hit from 7. So I think that went a little high, and I hope it did, considering that was the lower Glacius. And this guy here is a little bit of an ass. He obviously sees I'm fighting another Object 257, but, you know, let me rush in there and cock block you. But the Tier 10 reward tank for the campaign, the Object 260, is also an IS-7 prototype. Take that ass shot. Now I'm kind of rolling out here in the field a bit, and I really wish my Scout AMX 1390 would push up. And I'm trying to figure out a way I'm going to proceed, because obviously the M46 Patton actually has better view range than I do. So the last Object 257 died. And there he is. And that really wasn't a bad shot for that far away. And it definitely wasn't fully aimed. So, it's a win for my team. As you can see, I blocked 1,300 damage. And I did 1050 spotting and assisted, which isn't bad. 3,000 actual. So here's the results. Not completely awful, not great either. I was number 2 in damage on my team. And actually, I even out damaged their M46 Patton, which was their top guy. So now I played a second game in the Object 257 day or two later. And this is the results from that match. I also want to throw out there that during this match, I believe I blocked, I'm trying to remember what I blocked, around 18 or 1900 damage, I think. And then there's the team score. So this is where I'm going to get off on a bit of a tangent. I like this tank. I think it's a perfect upgrade to the IS-3. I feel it's better than the T10. You lose mobility, but you pack a lot of armor. Well-sloped and shaped armor. Fuck you, Wargaming. This tank pisses me off. This tank should have never been introduced. It's not balanced whatsoever. In this game here, these results you are looking at, that STR 103, STRV 103-0 shot me 3 times in the side, and I blocked every shot. He's got almost 300 millimeters of penetration, and I bounced every shot. I literally approached his STRV 103 like a noob and got away with it. And I should have never been able to do that. The Skoda T50, he kept shooting me on the front, and I bounced every shot of his. And even the 112 actually had shot me on the side with high explosive anti-tank ammo, and it bounced. The reload is slow, which is fine by me. The armor's too much for its tier. And I take time, get in the game, compare this to the IS-7. For the most part, this is a better tank to the IS-7. It wins. It wins very well with its armor shaping. To start with, that's on the hull. Its turret armor is almost twice as much on the front as the IS-7's. And in all honesty, I feel the turret is actually better shaped. And I might be a little rude in saying what I have to say to Wargaming, but there's also some other things with patch 922 that irritates the hell out of me. And I don't have the replays. I'm not going to air the replays. I don't need to air the replays, because if I am the only person who's seen the problems that I'm seeing, then some other people need to open their eyes. The day I got this game, this game was on Airfield, and it was I think it was also a Tier 9 match. The Pershing, the Super Pershing, I'm fighting the Super Pershing there. He never even traversed his gun to my tank. I think he realized, why waste the time? Because he was never going to pen it. Even with premium ammo, he was never going to pen my tank. Probably most of these guys were never going to pen my tank with premium ammo. I can't recall if the STR 103, STRV 103 did or not. He did pen my tank a couple of times. At one point during this game, the Skoda T50 and the KV4 was coming up behind me, and the STR 103. Well, okay. Let me re-describe the situation here. I was coming up through the gap in the middle where the heavy tanks normally go. I had the KV4 and the the Skoda T50 on one side of me, on my left, and I had the STRV 103 on my right. I decided to point my ass to the STRV and tried to kill the Skoda and the KV4, which thankfully I had to shoot the Skoda once, but a teammate killed the KV4. And actually, a teammate helped me kill the T50. And then I was able to turn around and put I put 3 shots into the STRV 103, which is a Tier 9 tank destroyer. Um, when I went broadside, he had damaged my engine because I stuck my rear to him, and I turned my side to him, and he struggled to pen my side. That's a Tier 9 tank destroyer facing a Tier 9 heavy tank, and he couldn't pen me. I personally see a problem with that. They introduced some new tank destroyers, which the new tank destroyers are also a bit fucking ridiculous, considering that they have as much armor, and some of them has more armor than a fucking heavy tank. And they have a tank destroyer gun, which is better than a heavy tank gun. Yeah, they lose a turret, but, you know, it's a bit fucking ridiculous. I got curious during this patch, the T-44, the T-54, the T-44-100, and there was 2 other tanks that got buffs, which these just recently got buffs. The tanks I just listed, they just got buffs a few months ago. They got buffed again. So I got curious, and I decided to hop in my T-44, and right away I said, this is fucking bullshit. The T-44, instead of driving like a medium tank, now drives like a fucking race car. My dispersion on the move is almost non-existent in a Russian tank. I was hitting and making shots I should have never been able to make during that gameplay. And all I have to say is, Wargaming, if you don't see a problem with what I just said whatsoever, then you are full on admitting that you support the Soviet bias that is fucking going on in this game. The American tanks keep getting overlooked because, you know, 129 millimeters of penetration on a 76 millimeter gun that should have as much penetration as a 17-pounder gets ignored, while you keep buffing and over buffing these Russian tanks, because we fucking need that in this game. You know, we need a heavy tank that's got more armor than a super heavy tank. It seems completely fucking legitimate. All I got to say is, with what I'm seeing in the game, I love World of Tanks. I'm a tanker by trade. Being a tanker is in my blood. You know, I was an M1 Abrams crewman for years. I missed the hell out of it. It was the best time of my life. World of Tanks obviously attracts me for obvious reasons. But Wargaming, you're really starting to get on my nerves. I've been tolerant of some of the shit. You know, you say about the Object 252 is not overpowered, yet essentially you have an IS-3 with better armor at the same fucking tier as an IS-3. And all a person has to do is open their fucking wallet, which we're soon going to be seeing an overflooding of those. Then you got the Scorpion G, which is better than the Rematel Borsig of the same fucking tier. That's why you see so many Scorpion Gs, because they're so fucking good. Yeah, they got no fucking armor. It doesn't matter. They got a really good fucking gun. It's got a faster reload, and it's got better stabilization. And it's even got more mobility than the fucking Borsig. And I can keep going on and on and on about tanks that are too good for no reason. This is obviously one of them. I wanted something better armor-wise than a T10. I wanted something that felt like an upgrade from the IS-3. This fulfills that, but this is better than I was expecting. And I feel kind of disappointed. So I think that's it. I'm going to end it there before I continue to rant anymore. So I hope you at least enjoyed the replay. I'm not sure if you really enjoyed the rant, but I'll see you next time.